All right, guys, what's going on? I'm super excited for this video for the simple purpose that it has the potential to change the trajectory of your agency, especially as we're going to be transitioning into the new year. But before we get into it, I want to preface two things. The first thing, this video is going to be a longer video. It's probably going to be around 20-30 minutes long if I go into the nitty gritty details. So get a pen, get a paper, because a lot of the things that I'm going to be telling you, you're probably going to have to pause, write down, and then implement at a later time. And the second thing I want to preface is the fact that I need you guys to stop this video, go hit the subscribe button, because I'm pumping out literally 2 videos a week and I need your guys' support in order to keep doing that. So I'm going to wait 2 seconds for you guys to go and do that.
2 seconds later.
Anyways, if you did that, thank you very much. If you didn't, do better, man, do better. But anyway, I don't want to be one of those guys that's going to be talking about, an outlandish claim like this if I haven't done it myself. So I've ran ads in the past, last week, last month, yesterday, today, currently. Like, I'm always running ads and I'm always collecting data. And I thought to myself, how can I benefit this lead gen community using the data that I spent my own money on in order to figure out and find out? And essentially what I realized was I was able to get warm leads for literally 40 cents. Guys like Montel Gordon, if you don't know who that is, I'll pop him up on the screen right now. He has been able to basically break down the ideology that we don't need to keep doing cold outreach. We can implement a system like this, which I'm going to be running through, and you guys can get warm leads for literally less than $1. And it doesn't even have to cost you that much. And I'll be showing you guys exactly why. So for example, if you look at this video campaign that I did, it was 4 different ad sets targeting 4 different interests. And those 4 ads performed at a CPC of less than 30 cents, meaning when you guys see these link clicks here, that is referring to the amount of warm leads that came to my profile and interacted with my brand. So as you guys can see, it costed me 20 cents, 20 cents, 21 cents, 31 cents. Obviously, I said less than 30, but you guys get the point here. Let's not be specific about that. But anyway, we look at a different sort of campaign. It was a carousel ad, so it was a series of different images. I think it was 9 images in this ad, 38 link clicks. It costed me £5. £5 for 38 warm leads, and I only ran it for 3 days. That's insane. We look at another campaign, an IG video ad, 19 cents was the CPC. The cost per click was 19 cents, meaning I was getting warm leads for literally 19 cents. How is it that you guys still think that cold outreach is the way to go when you're able to literally spend $1 and generate 5 warm leads, guys? So what does this mean and how is it possible? A lot of you guys probably watching this video right now is probably scratching your head thinking, okay, I'm sending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of DMs, emails, doing cold calls a day when there is a strategy out there that's able to get you warm leads for 19 cents, 40 cents, 30 cents. And you're probably thinking, well, it's only a warm lead. But you only need a certain amount of warm leads before you can convert them into a hot lead or a close. And if you guys are charging anywhere from 1.5K to 5K to 10K to 15K, the ROI is ridiculous. But anyway, what does that mean and how is it possible? So let's crunch the numbers. So I reached over 4.7 thousand individuals with my ads combined, not including the others, only those 3. I generated over 120 warm leads from those 3 ads, and I spent less than $100. On one of the ads, I spent $5. And that in itself is absolutely ridiculous. On average, it costed me 26 cents to get a warm lead to visit my profile between those 3 ads. I spent 0 hours cold calling, 0 hours cold DMing, and 0 hours cold emailing. 3 signed up for the free training, which is a high ticket product, and it's an hour-and-a-half free training. And I got ample new followers and profile interactions, which means that they're a hot lead. A warm lead goes to the profile, a hot lead takes action, and then essentially you want to DM anyone that takes action with your profile. And I did absolutely nothing in order for this to occur. I literally sat back and just watched everything take off. But you guys need to realize 2 important things here. You need to have an optimized personal brand. And if you want me to create a video on that, comment personal brand down below, because this process isn't a process that you just implement. There's components, there's mechanisms, there's frameworks that go into this working effectively and efficiently. And you guys need to understand the power of advertising. We're going to run through some numbers, some real numbers, and you guys are going to actually see why you need to be advertising over doing cold outreach. But I suggest you do both hand in hand, to be honest. You want to do some outbound and some inbound. But anyway, that's a whole nother video, a whole nother conversation. But these 2 things simply go hand in hand. So it's question time. How many hours have you guys spent sending cold outreach every single week? And I want to use Montel Gordon as an example. If you guys don't know who that is, I'm going to pop him up right now on the screen. And he's a guy that's been literally documenting his space or his journey, his progress, his ups, his downs since the start of his agency. He's a guy that I really, really respect for the simple reason of he understood the importance of transparency, right? When running an agency, he talked about the different avenues he went down, the different ways he made money, what he suggests, and he never talked or spoke from a place of ignorance. It was always from his personal experience. And I think that's quite insightful. So if you guys don't know who that is, go check out his videos, go check out his IG. He's crushing it right now. All right, so I'm going to be talking about a lot of numbers right now, and I want you guys to just try and comprehend, try and follow what it is that I'm going to be speaking about. But anyway, let's jump into it right now, guys. So Montel Gordon, on his IG story, he spoke about his experience with cold outreach and why you guys need to take a leaf out of his book and understand doing only cold outreach is just not effective enough. You guys are spending money on softwares, VAs. If you implemented that same amount of money that you're spending elsewhere into advertising, the whole game would change for you. So essentially, he said it took him 1,600 emails to land a 1,500 a month client. And essentially, if you wanted to scale to that 10K a month mark, he would need 7 clients to hit the golden $10,000 a month mark, meaning he would need to send 11,200 emails to close 7 clients, since it took him 1,600 to land one. So if you continue this breakdown, right, 11,200 over the course of 3 months meant that he was going to be sending 3,733 emails every single month, which is 187 emails a day, not including Saturday and Sunday. That's if he wanted to hit the 10K a month mark within the 3-month period, as you guys can see. Hopefully you guys are following so far. Let's continue. So that means he was doing around 10 handwritten personalized emails. And he said that it took him about an hour to do it if he wanted to do it effectively and efficiently, which is 18.7 hours of work a day. But obviously he's not an idiot. He realized no one can work 18.7 hours a day. So what did he do? He said it wasn't sustainable. So he hired some VAs to help reduce the labor and demand time. So he paid them $5 an hour, which is $93 a day. That equals to $465 a week, which equals to $1,860 a month just in labor costs. You're probably thinking, oh, he's an idiot for that, but let's continue. So the cost breakdown was VAs. It was $93 a day. 93 times 20, because he's not working on weekends, was $1,860 a month. A decent lead list costed him about $100 a month. The Never Bounce software cost him about $23 a month. 7 domains so he can blast out that many emails costed him around $42 a month. And then instantly.io costed him $97 a month. So the total cost of operations was $2,122. And I want to stop here and just speak about one concept right now, guys. Just because you're not spending $2,122 a month doesn't mean you're still not paying for it with your time. If you guys haven't got the money to buy all these different softwares and cost breakdowns and all these different things, just know it's your time that is being spent doing that. So yes, you're not financially paying that amount, but time-wise, it's costing you a fortune. So let's continue. All right, so when working out the cost per client, the math is very, very simple. We do 2,122 times 3 months, because that is the cost of operations, and he wants to get to the 10K month in 3 months, so it's times 3, equals 6,366 divided by 7, since it would take 7 clients to get to the 10K a month mark. That means his cost per client is $909. Plus, if you're charging $1,500, your profit on month 1 is $591, or so you thought, because if you decide to outsource the work, a media buyer probably costs around $500, so you're left with $91 in profit. That is why cold outreach is not sustainable. And like I said, you might not be spending this amount of money, but you're spending that amount of money in your time. So even if it's, let's say, $500 or $300 or $200, and you sign a client and you have ridiculous profit margins, just know your time is being spent doing this. So it's still impossible for you to scale. It doesn't matter if it's financial. You guys need to understand that cold outreach as a standalone client acquisition method is simply not enough. So a lot of you guys probably end up looking like this when you realize, okay, I've just grinded and slaved away to literally sign a client that doesn't really make sense, because after spending 6 weeks to sign a client and you spend hours and hours and hours on end, you realize that you're only taking home $1,000, $500, $40, $200. It doesn't matter, because your time is spent invested into that client. But ultimately, guys, the question is, does that even make sense to you? So essentially what he did was spend $2,122 to cold email 3,734 businesses. But then when you factor in the 60% open rate, if he achieved that, He was essentially spending $2,122 to only have 2,613 people open his emails, meaning the CPM, the cost per 1,000 impressions, was $812. That's disgusting. That's absolutely disgusting. And the reason why it is because mine is $7, 117 times cheaper. Don't believe me? Cost per 1,000 impressions, $7.09 in between 4 different ads. 4 different ads, and the average was £7. £7, guys. So now imagine what would happen if you put $2,122 into an ad. Bearing in mind, it's costing me £7 to get 1,000 impressions. Let me do the maths. 303,142 people would have seen this beautiful face on their phone screen. Does that even make sense, guys? How long would it take you to reach out to this many business owners? How long? And I'm not saying all these guys are warm leads, but what I'm saying is the conversion rate of reaching out to 303,000 people, turning into warm leads and eventually hot leads, that number would simply be life-changing, guys. And like I said, guys, I know not everyone's CPA, the cost per acquisition, the cost to acquire a client essentially will not be this high, but the premise remains the same. You have to send hundreds, if not thousands of cold emails or DMs to get minimal positive results. Hours each day spent sourcing leads, optimizing campaigns, and sending follow-ups. Even if you have a software or you have a VA to do it, it's still costing time. And everyone you reach out to is not guaranteed to see the message. At least with an ad, it only counts the impression if they've literally seen the ad on their screen. Would you rather run a couple ads, get a $7 CPM, or spend hundreds of hours a month wasting your time sending cold outreach? So you guys need to expand your thinking when it comes to client acquisition. Ask yourself a couple questions, guys. Who told you to do cold outreach? And are they actively doing it themselves? The answer is probably no. Then the question you need to ask yourself is why? The answer is very simple: leverage. These gurus, right, that told you to do cold outreach, they understand that time, energy, and decision making is much more important than spending hours sending out emails, especially if it means spending $100 could yield better results than 2 weeks of cold outreach. You guys get the point. So how do you transition from the rat cycle of continuous cold outreach to having a CPM that means every $7 you spend, 1,000 new potential customers are introduced to you? Every lead that comes in is only costing you less than 40 cents. So let's walk through the process. I walk through the actual fundamental understanding of why you guys need to transition from cold outreach and go into the paid ad space, but also still do cold outreach on the side. And now I'm going to show you the strategy behind actually achieving the 40-cent leads, or the 40-cent warm leads, if you guys will. And I know a lot of you guys have probably been waiting for that. So let's jump straight into it now. All right. So to first understand the strategy, guys, you need to have context. So the ads will strictly be ran on IG as a boosted reel, meaning you post the reel and then you just hit that blue button that says boost post. Then the audience targeting will be broad, meaning 1 or 2 interests only. Everyone that visits your profile and interacts with it, whether that be a follow, a like, anything like that, we deem as a lead, meaning that you guys need to DM them, nurture them, highlight their inefficiencies when you're talking to them, and provide a solution. This strategy only works if you have an optimized IG profile. Comment down below IG profile if you guys want me to create a video on how to optimize your IG, your Facebook, that sort of good stuff. There's no point running ads to a profile that isn't optimized. Having one post on your feed, no highlights, no results, no case studies, no optimized bio, it simply isn't going to yield the interactions that you guys need, and you're essentially going to be wasting money. So let's talk about the ad structure. So this is going to be really, really insightful. And before I even get into this strategy, what I want to say is I think this was created by Trey Cockrum. If you guys don't know who that is, I'm going to put up a picture right now. And this guy is absolutely killing it. He's a Christian entrepreneur, which I really, really respect, because so am I. And you guys will probably see the amount of people running ads right now following this same structure essentially. And I think it was because of him. But anyway, so the structure that you're going to be saying within ads is this. So essentially you want to start off by saying, or speaking, should I say, to your target audience. Are you this person? Describe your audience. Someone that's struggling to get consistent leads, someone that's struggling to qualify the leads that come in, etc., etc. Who has this problem? Describe that said problem. Then you want to insert a call to action. For example, it could say, give me a follow, DM me the word, blah, 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 something along those lines. A very simple call to action. That's super important because you want them to interact with your brand. The third step is you want to explain why. Why should they follow you? Why should they act on this call to action? Because I share daily, weekly, insert a time frame, tips on how to alleviate that desire that they want, right? What is it that you're trying to solve here? Because this is their problem. What are you going to be doing in order to alleviate that problem? Is it the tips? Is it the resources? Is it a free training, etc., etc.? Step 4 is so that you can decrease the show rate, increase the lead quality rate, increase the amount of people coming into appointments, that sort of stuff. And then number 5 is justification, because I've been able to help. Who have you been able to help? Drop a testimonial in the ad, drop screenshots in the ad, case studies, all that sort of stuff is going to be super, super important for this ad structure. And then you want to end the call with the same call to action that you use in step 2. So for example, if any of this connects with you, give me a follow and I'll see you guys on the other side. If any of this connects with you, send me that word blitz, send me that word leverage, send me that word lead, and I'll send over that free resource. 6 steps to creating a high converting ad that's going to get you 40-cent warm leads. So let's talk about what this ad looks like in real time. So I want you guys to go to the ad library and check out Justin J. Saunders and Connor Rickey. I've literally studied these ads that they're creating, and they currently have some on their ad library, and I want you guys to watch them, see what they're doing, and come up with your own structure if this doesn't work. And if that still doesn't work, what I'm going to be doing right now, I'm going to edit some of the ads that I've ran, my actual ads, into this video right now. So I'm going to pause the video, insert some of the own variations that I've done, and you guys can literally copy me if you want to. Obviously, you're going to have to make it applied to your niche, but you'll get the preface. So I'll see you guys in about 2 minutes. If you currently run a local lead gen agency and you do not follow me, you need to do that now. The reason being is I've just created a free training teaching you guys how to transition from being a part of the 99% of local lead gen agency owners that's working endless hours every single day, offering ridiculous guarantees and simply working with bottom of the barrel clients, and how you guys can transition to becoming a part of the 1%ers within the space that's working infinitely less yet charging 3 to 5 to 10x more than you guys are doing. So hopefully that makes a little bit more sense, guys, in terms of how you should be structuring your ads and what it looks like in real time. So let's talk about the strategy before your ads launch, the initial plan of action. You want to make at least 3 ad variations. So those ads that you've just seen, make at least 3 variations of those ads and ensure that each variation has some difference. For example, the hook or the call to action. The hook is the first 5 seconds. So if you say, are you guys a local lead gen agency, or are you currently a solo company? Switch that around. Switch the first 5 seconds. Make 3 different ad variations, a different call to action, a different hook, that sort of stuff. Let's go into the implementation ideology. You want to aim for broad targeting. Choose no more than one interest. The interest should have more than 15 million people within the audience size, and the interest chosen should resonate with your target audience. For example, entrepreneurs, that's always worked very, very well if you're in the coaching and consulting space. But obviously, if you're in the local biz space, probably typing in the actual niche, for example, teeth, dentist, that sort of stuff, that's going to work very, very well as well. So essentially, you guys are going to be boosting these IG posts, and I'll explain. Actually, let me continue and then we'll go back to that in a second. Essentially, you want to run all 3 variations of ads targeting different interests. So you're going to have 3 different ad variations targeting 3 different interests, and you want to let this run for 1 to 2 weeks using a small budget of anywhere from $5 to $20 a day. See what broad interests perform the best out of those 3 interests, which one's performing the best, giving you the best cost per click, giving you the best engagement, all that sort of stuff. And at the end of the initial 1 to 2 weeks, you want to reboost all ads to the best performing interest. If no interactions are made on your IG within the first 3 to 5 days, turn off the poorly converting ads or the ones that have a high cost per click. That's usually indicating that the ad isn't that good. And then you want to reshoot different ads and go again. And then one of the last phases of this sort of strategy is the optimization. 7-day optimization checklist that you guys should be tracking is the number of followers to ad spend, the number of link clicks to spend ratio, and you guys want to delete the worst performing ads, increase spend on the working ones, and make new ones like the working ones. So if you guys have a winning ad, for example, go make ads similar to the winning ads. Don't go and create a whole different strategy, structure. Literally replicate what's already working. And once you guys are doing your 7-day optimization checklist, you also want to create an innovation cycle. So essentially what that means is you always want to keep innovating. And how you do that is bi-weekly, you should be finding a winner, and then you want to scale it. And then you want to keep on innovating. So let's say you don't find a winner within those 2 weeks. What do? Well, you go back down to the previous step and repeat it again. Go for a new broad audience targeting, recreate an ad similar to one that has been performing well, and repeat the process. Simply continue to do what works and don't change if it's broken. I've seen guys time and time again. They'll find a winning ad and then they'll go create an ad that is totally different from it and then wonder why it's not performing well. If Facebook is telling you or Instagram is telling you, well, they're the same thing. If they're telling you that this ad is performing well, why then would you not use that as a foundational structure for your new ads? That's essentially what you guys want to keep on doing. So guys, this is obviously the strategy behind the ad campaigns and how you guys should structure it, launch it, recreate the videos, all that sort of good stuff. But if you want me to create a video on actually walking through that process step by step, comment down below, let's say IG ads. So IG ads, and I'll create a video after this video that essentially walks you guys through the process of what I do to actually launch the ad. So I'll go into my own business manager, I'll boost the ads myself, all that sort of good stuff. So hopefully all that makes sense, guys. We've ran through the ad structure. We spoke about the implementation and ideology. So these are going to be the stuff like the audience targeting, what you guys should be doing, what you guys should be doing in terms of the launch, how much you should be putting towards a budget, how long you should be letting it run for. It should be a broad interest. And we talked about the optimization. So at the end of every 7 days of you running these ads, you should be tracking the number of followers to ad spend, the link clicks. And if you guys want to come up with a cycle to keep innovating and keep creating new ads, every 2 weeks, you should be finding a winner. And if you don't, you want to look at the ads that have been performing well within those 2 weeks. Basically use that as a foundational structure for your new ads and repeat the process. And if you guys also want that video on the optimized IG profile, as well as me running through what this actually looks like, launching the ads through my Instagram and going through all the targeting settings and all that sort of good stuff, let me know in the comment section below. But guys, thank you so much for taking time to watch this video. Hopefully it's been insightful. Let me know what sort of results you guys get. And if you do have any questions, follow me here on Instagram and I'll be more than happy to answer those for you. But hopefully it was an insightful video, guys. So let me know.